Welcome to Stories for Sleep, a place where gentle stories are told not to make you think more, but to help you rest more deeply. If you are listening right now, as the room has grown quiet, the lights have softened and your mind is still wandering somewhere, you don't need to do anything at all. Just stay here and let this story move slowly with your breath. In today's video, we will explore some of the most relaxing truths about symbiotic life, an ancient principle of existence that is often forgotten. From deep forests and vast oceans to the human body itself, life has never existed in isolation. Every living being is supported by quiet, persistent relationships that do not demand to be seen. Through the lens of Carl Gustav Jung, this is also true of our inner world. The ego is only the surface, while beneath it lies a deeper network, constantly working to keep you safe. Stories for Sleep was created for moments like this, when you don't need to learn, remember, or try to fall asleep. You only need to listen. In the journey ahead, let these stories of symbiosis whisper to you that you are not alone, and that tonight you can rest safely within the invisible support of life itself. As night falls and the outer world grows quieter, many of us remain awake inside ourselves. The mind keeps thinking the body holds a subtle tension, as if it must stand on its own against everything. We are used to the idea that life is competition, that survival requires strength, independence, self-reliance. But what if that assumption has never been the whole truth? In this video, we step into another story, slower, gentler, about symbiotic life. In nature, almost no organism truly lives alone. From glowing coral reefs in the deep sea to ancient forests whispering in the dark to the human body itself, life is always woven from countless relationships that quietly support one another. From a Jungian perspective, the I we cling to may be only a very small surface of a deeper network where the unconscious, the body, and the world continuously interact in silence. Our difficulty is not a lack of effort, but that we have forgotten we do not need to carry everything alone. When the mind believes it must control everything, the nervous system cannot truly rest. But when we touch an older truth, that life exists through connection, a very deep sense of safety can begin to spread. This video is not meant to teach you something to remember. It is an invitation to see the world as a vast symbiotic system, where even in darkness, even while you sleep, quiet processes continue to care for, regulate, and support life. Through gentle stories from biology, nature, and Jungian psychology, you may begin to feel that letting go is not weakness, but a return to how life has always functioned. If you are listening at the end of a long day, let curiosity lead you, not effort. In the following parts, we will explore how symbiosis exists not only out there in nature, but also within you, and why understanding this can help you sleep more deeply, more peacefully, and more lightly tonight. Part 1. Symbiosis, the art of living together. Allow this voice to reach you slowly, not to teach anything new, only to remind you of something very old, very deep, and very gentle. Before humans named the world, before consciousness learned to distinguish me from not me, life already existed through a quiet principle living together. In biology, this is called symbiosis. But if you listen long enough, you may realize that symbiosis is not only a scientific concept, it is an art of existence, a way life learned not to stand alone before the vastness of the universe. Symbiosis is often defined as a relationship between two or more organisms in which at least one benefits. But this definition feels too narrow when listened to with a tired heart. In nature, symbiosis is not only about benefit, it is about sharing weight, distributing responsibility, ensuring that no single being has to do everything alone. A forest does not exist because of individual trees. The ocean does not live through isolated creatures. Even your body in this very moment is not a closed individual. You are home to trillions of living beings, bacteria, fungi, cells, each quietly performing its task so that you can breathe, digest, think, and rest. From Carl Gustav Jung's perspective, this reaches a deeper layer of human experience. Jung reminded us that the ego, the I we identify with, is only the visible surface of a much larger psychological structure. Beneath personal consciousness lies the unconscious, and deeper still the collective unconscious, where all beings share ancient patterns of existence. Symbiosis in nature mirrors this inner truth. We do not exist alone, no matter how lonely we may feel. In modern life, we are taught to be independent, strong, to stand on our own. But nature has never operated by that logic. Life does not reward prolonged isolation. It favors systems that connect, adapt together, and rely on one another without losing their distinctiveness. And this is a gentle invitation for you right now. Not a call to change, not a demand to understand fully, just a quiet reminder. Even as you lie still, doing nothing at all, invisible relationships are working for you. Your heart does not beat alone. Your breath does not need commands. The nervous system, the immune system, the microbiome, all are cooperating in silence. Nature is not alone, and neither are you. Let this small sense of safety spread a little, like stepping into a forest at dusk. You don't need to know the names of the trees. You don't need to understand what lies beneath the soil. Just know that you are surrounded by a supporting network, and tonight's journey has only just begun. Part 2. Symbiosis as an evolutionary strategy. As you grow accustomed to the feeling that you do not exist alone, we can move a little deeper, a little slower, into how life chose symbiosis, not as a moral decision, but as an intelligent evolutionary strategy. Evolution is often told as a story of brutal competition. The stronger survive, the faster dominate, the poorly adapted disappear. But that is only half the story. The other half, quieter, less dramatic, yet far more enduring, is cooperation. Symbiosis allows life to do something. Competition cannot expand the boundaries of existence without becoming stronger. When two organisms live symbiotically, neither must excel at everything. One processes energy. One offers protection. One moves. One stays still. Evolution here is no longer an individual race, but a shared project. There is ancient wisdom in this. Instead of wasting energy fighting everything, life learns to turn others into partners. Instead of perfecting a single body, it distributes functions across multiple beings. This is not weakness. It is optimization. In evolutionary biology, symbiosis created leaps that millions of years of random mutation could not. Mitochondria, the energy factories in your cells, were once independent organisms. Chloroplasts in plants were too. Complex life arose not by standing alone longer, but by allowing another being to live within. From a Jungian perspective, this carries deep symbolic meaning. Jung wrote that psychological growth does not come from the ego controlling everything, but from learning to cooperate with other parts of the psyche, especially the unconscious. When consciousness resists, the unconscious energy is drained. When it listens and collaborates, energy flows. Symbiosis in nature mirrors this inner principle. External evolution and inner maturation are not separate paths. Both require a subtle surrender, acknowledging that we are not self-sufficient. Importantly, symbiosis does not erase individuality. It clarifies it. In a successful symbiotic relationship, each partner does what it does best. No one becomes a copy of the other. Evolution moves not toward sameness, but toward organized diversity. And if you are listening in a tired state, you may feel a gentle comfort. Life has never asked you to carry everything alone. Even at biology's deepest level, existence is a collective act. Symbiosis is not always peaceful. It requires adjustment, negotiation, sometimes painful restructuring. But over time, it creates new futures possibilities a single organism could never imagine. Notice your breath right now. It is the result of complex cooperation between lungs, blood, brain, and billions of cells. No effort, no commands, just coordination refined over millions of years. And as you prepare to move into more specific stories of symbiosis in nature, carry this feeling with you. Evolution is not only about survival, It is about learning to live together. Part 3. Classic symbiotic relationships in nature. Now that we see symbiosis not as an exception but as a deep evolutionary strategy, we can move even more slowly, like walking into a quiet garden where specific symbiotic relationships appear without noise or display yet function with astonishing order. Beneath the deep blue ocean, natural healthcare stations existed long before humans imagined them. Small, brightly colored fish drift out from rocky crevices and hover in open water. They do not flee larger fish. Instead, the larger fish stop, open their mouths, relax their bodies. Power is suspended. The small fish remove parasites, clean scales and gills. The large fish grow healthier. No contracts, no immediate reward, only understanding reinforced over time. What makes this relationship remarkable is not only biological benefit, but trust. Large fish do not eat the small ones. Small fish do not harm the large. This order is not enforced by violence, but by stability through repetition. In Jungian language, this reflects the archetype of balance. When roles are accepted, conflict energy transforms into life energy. On land, within dense forests, another form of symbiosis unfolds far slower, nearly invisible. Tree roots connect with fungi to form vast underground networks. Fungi extend water and mineral access. Trees provide sugar and energy. No one owns the other. They interweave like thoughts and emotions within the human psyche. Remarkably, this network serves not only individual trees. Older trees support younger ones. Strong trees share with weaker. Information about danger travels silently through chemical signals. A forest is not isolated individuals, but a caring community. In the insect world, symbiosis becomes even more intricate. Ants and aphids live in a strange agreement. Ants protect aphids from predators, while aphids secrete sweet substances to feed ants. Ants even farm aphids, relocating them to safer places. Here, symbiosis becomes social organization. These relationships remind us that order does not need noise to exist. Many of life's foundational rules operate in silence, like your heartbeat while you sleep. You do not command it, you trust it. From a Jungian view, these classic symbiotic relationships reflect an important psychological truth. Inner stability does not come from eliminating other parts within us, but from allowing them to find appropriate roles. When the ego stops dominating, when the unconscious is not suppressed, natural order emerges. And as you listen to these stories in the soft darkness of evening, you may feel something simple yet profound. The world does not operate through isolation. It functions through small, repeated, reliable relationships that do not demand constant attention. You do not need to remember species names or biological details. Just let the images pass through your mind, different beings slowly finding one another, staying long enough to coexist. Part 4. Humans as a living ecosystem. After quietly observing symbiotic relationships in oceans, forests, insects, and microbes, a question arises naturally, almost without words. If all life is woven from symbiosis, where do humans stand? The gentle answer may pause you slightly. Humans are not outside nature. Humans are a living ecosystem. Your body right now is not a single unified entity. It is home to tens of trillions of organisms, bacteria, fungi, viruses, ancient microbes living on your skin, in your gut, lungs, mouth. They outnumber your human cells. You are not just an individual. You are a moving community. These tiny beings do not merely reside. They actively participate in digestion, immune regulation, vitamin production, energy levels, mood, even stress responses. When you feel calm or restless, safe or uneasy, it is not only the conscious mind speaking, it is the result of a complex biological dialogue within. From a Jungian perspective, this holds deep symbolism. Jung emphasized that the I we identify with is never the whole person. The ego is the surface. Beneath it lies a vast unconscious ocean, both personal and collective. Our biological structure mirrors this psychological reality. You are the visible tip of a system working continuously without your awareness. When we try to control the body like a machine, forcing eating, sleeping, productivity optimization, we forget ecosystems do not function through commands. They function through balance. Just as forests need no central commander, your body does not need constant control to live. Health, therefore, is not merely genetics or willpower. It is relational between you and environment, you and microbes, consciousness and unconscious control and trust. When relationships fracture, the body speaks. When harmony returns, the body grows quiet. And that quiet is stability. There is deep comfort here. It tells you that you do not carry existence alone. Even when tired, even when confused, countless processes continue faithfully inside you. Like a forest at night, roots drawing water, fungi exchanging nutrients, insects fulfilling roles, your body continues when you let go. You do not need to prove your worth through constant tension. Seeing yourself as a living ecosystem allows gentler self-treatment, not as a project to fix, but as a garden to listen to. And within that listening, a quiet whisper emerges: you are not alone within your own body. As this thought settles, breath slows, as if something deeper recognizes it is supported. Part 5. Symbiosis and energy borrowing. Light chemistry, life. Having seen humans as living ecosystems, we can move one layer deeper to life's foundation, energy. If symbiosis is the art of living together, energy is what is most often shared, exchanged, and borrowed. Very few organisms produce everything they need. Most borrow energy from sunlight, chemistry, other beings. Plants borrow sunlight. Animals borrow plant energy. Bacteria borrow chemical energy deep underground where light never reaches. Many organisms take a subtler path, borrowing abilities directly through symbiosis. Some organisms cannot photosynthesize, yet live with those that can. Corals, for example, cannot make energy from light, but they live with single-celled algae that can. Corals provide shelter. Algae share energy. Entire underwater cities arise from this invisible agreement. At a deeper level, your body exists through an ancient energy symbiosis. Billions of years ago, a primitive cell swallowed a bacterium, but did not digest it. That bacterium became the mitochondrion, the energy factory of every complex cell today. Every breath you take, every heartbeat, every drifting thought before sleep is powered by this ancient relationship. There is quiet beauty here. Life's complexity does not arise from isolated strength, but from mutual trust. Symbiosis becomes an evolutionary shortcut, allowing life to acquire new abilities without waiting millions of years. From a Jungian lens, this mirrors human psychology. Jung believed consciousness cannot generate all its own psychic energy. It borrows from the unconscious, from archetypes, instincts, symbols, deeper psyche layers. When consciousness tries to stand alone, it exhausts itself. When it collaborates, energy flows. Like nature, life energy resists force. It prefers circulation. Balanced relationships where no one carries everything alone. When energy symbiosis breaks, corals lose algae, cells lose mitochondria, humans lose biological rhythms, life becomes fragile. There is a gentle sleep message here: you do not need to generate energy for everything. You are allowed to receive, to borrow, to rest, while inner and outer relationships continue working. Just as trees do not worry about creating sunlight, your body does not need to worry about creating sleep. When energy relationships realign, life knows how to continue. And as this thought settles, something quiet emerges. Even in darkness, unseen energy flows still support you. Part 6. Building ecosystems. Coral reefs, lichens, forests, soil. Understanding symbiosis as energy sharing reveals something deeper still. Symbiosis does not only sustain life, it builds worlds. Some relationships do more than support individuals. They quietly construct entire ecosystems like silent architects, working over thousands, millions of years without recognition. Coral reefs are one such creation. They are not living rocks, but fragile alliances between corals and photosynthetic algae. This symbiosis creates underwater cities where thousands of species find food and shelter. When it collapses, reefs bleach, and entire worlds fall with them. On land, lichens, fungi, and algae combined pioneer barren rock. Algae produce energy, fungi retain moisture and minerals. Slowly stone becomes soil, forests follow. Life arrives not through force, but patient cooperation. Forests closely observed are not collections of isolated trees. Beneath the soil, roots intertwine with vast fungal networks, the wood wide web. Trees share water, nutrients, even warning signals. Strong trees support weak ones. Old trees pass resources forward. This is not morality, it is survival structure. Soil itself is symbiosis made visible. Billions of microbes, fungi, insects turn decay into nourishment, death into life's foundation. Without symbiosis, soil is dust. Without unseen workers, no forests, no crops, no humans. Jung saw similar structure within the psyche. He viewed it not as a single center, but as an inner ecosystem: consciousness, personal, unconscious, collective unconscious, complexes, symbols, interacting, sometimes conflicting, yet forming wholeness. When one part is denied, imbalance arises. When parts coexist, psyche stabilizes like a healthy forest. Before sleep, this realization brings safety. You do not carry life alone. Larger systems support you in your body nature, evolutionary history. Even as you rest, close your eyes, these networks continue. Like forests breathing at night, soil regenerating in darkness, coral reefs layering silently below deep waters. As this spreads, the mind can slow. No control, no effort. Just being part of an ecosystem, operating long before you arrived and continuing long after you fall asleep. Part 7. Symbiosis is not always peaceful. Seeing symbiosis build reefs, forests, soil may tempt a gentle illusion that symbiosis is always harmonious, beautiful, peaceful. But nature is rarely that simple. In reality, symbiosis spans a wide spectrum. Mutual benefit on one end, parasitism, exploitation, destruction on the other. Most life occurs between where relationships are continuously negotiated, adjusted, strained, broken, and restructured. Some relationships begin symbiotic and drift toward exploitation. Some organisms help under one condition and harm under another. Nature does not cling to fixed morality. It remains loyal to dynamic balance. Gut bacteria can aid digestion and immunity, yet when imbalanced cause inflammation and pain. A life-supporting relationship can become a source of harm. This does not make symbiosis bad. It shows life is continuous negotiation, not permanent contract. Even stable ecosystems contain tension. Corals regulate algae to avoid energy overload. Trees and fungi cooperate while competing for resources. Each maintains the option to withdraw or restructure. Jung saw this within the psyche. He believed the psyche is not paradise, but an inner ecosystem, where ego-shadow complexes, collective unconscious need each other, and conflict. The shadow denied sabotages from within. Integrated it becomes life energy. Jung wrote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Seen this way, non-peaceful symbiosis becomes something to hold gently, not reject. Not all relationships are comfortable, but friction teaches limits, adaptation, longevity. Before sleep, this brings comfort. Inner conflict does not mean you are broken. It means you inhabit a real psychological ecosystem, not an idealized image. Nature does not require perfect peace. It requires adaptability. And so you need not force your mind into silence. You only allow different parts to exist, negotiate, and rebalance in their own rhythm. With this understanding, softness spreads. You do not need to fix everything tonight. Some relationships adjust, even when you let go. Like forests rebuilding after storms. Like soil healing after damage. like your psyche quietly finding balance in the gentle darkness of night. Part 8. Symbiosis in extreme conditions. Having seen that symbiosis is not always gentle, we move further to places where life should not exist, where light never reaches, where heat, pressure, radiation, cold, or dryness push life to its limits. And there, symbiosis appears most clearly, whispering life survives, not through strength alone, but through correct connection. At deep-sea hydrothermal vents, boiling water erupting in eternal darkness. No sunlight, no photosynthesis, no ideal conditions exist. Yet ecosystems thrive. Chemosynthetic bacteria convert sulfur into energy. Giant tube worms with no mouth or gut survive by hosting bacteria inside their bodies. They do not eat, they trust. In harsh deserts, plants, fungi, microbes form delicate alliances to preserve moisture. In the Arctic, under thick ice and prolonged darkness, life persists through slow, efficient symbiotic chains. No species survives alone. Jung spoke of similar extreme zones within the psyche, trauma, darkness, experiences beyond ego tolerance. In these zones, ego alone cannot survive. Only cooperation between consciousness and unconscious allows psychological life to continue. Symbiosis in extreme conditions is not optional, it is required, and this gently reflects into human life. When you are exhausted, overwhelmed, you do not need more strength. You need better connection with body rhythms, unconscious systems already working for you. There is deep comfort here. Even in the darkest places, life does not abandon itself. It changes strategy, shares weight, collaborates. If you listen late at night when your mind feels extreme, full, tense, or empty, you do not need to act. Like deep-sea worms, like microbes in ice, symbiotic relationships inside you are already working. The nervous system adjusts. Hormones rebalance. Cells repair. The unconscious processes what consciousness need not carry. You are not alone in this darkness. As this realization settles, the body releases further. Breath slows, thoughts thin. Like life in harsh environments, you do not need bright light to continue, only to let inner relationships do their work. In this quiet, symbiosis continues expanding existence's boundaries, and you, without effort, remain supported. Part 9. Symbiosis, Identity, and the Self. After journeying to life's extremes, we reach a quieter question: who or what is truly an individual? In a symbiotic world, this question has no clear answer. A body is rarely just itself. An organism rarely lives on its own resources. Gut bacteria shape digestion, immunity, emotion, even stress responses. Part of you is inherited not only from parents, but from microbial communities accompanying humanity for millennia. Seen slowly and deeply, the human body resembles a biological orchestra. Each cell microbe system plays a role in continuous living music. No absolute conductor, no omnipotent control center, only coordination adjustment yielding adaptation. Jung saw something similar psychologically. He believed the ego, the I, is a small surface atop a vast ocean, personal unconscious, collective unconscious. We are formed from ancestral memory archetypes predating us. Like biological symbiosis, psychological identity is layered relationships. Consciousness with unconscious individual, with collective present, with deep history. When we rigidly define ourselves, I am this, I must be that, fatigue arises. Life does not function through sharp boundaries. Symbiosis gently blurs identity edges. It does not destroy the ego, it softens it. It reminds you that you need not carry the world with a single self. Some parts require trust, not control. Systems work, even when unnoticed. This is profoundly sleep-inducing. When you release the need to maintain a vigilant ego, breath lengthens, the mind loosens. Sleep is no longer a personal task, it becomes a collective act of your entire inner ecosystem. In darkness, consciousness fades. The unconscious does not vanish. It takes over like a familiar community practiced for millions of years. You do not disappear when you sleep. You sink deeper into the network that has always supported you. And perhaps this is a gentle thought to carry into sleep. You do not need to know exactly who you are right now. You only need to know you are not separate. You are part of a larger living structure, wiser, deeper, gentler than you imagine. In this quiet settling, the ego may rest, and life as always continues caring for you in its own way. Part 10. Concrete and Living Stories of Symbiosis. As the concept of the ego gently softens within the idea of symbiosis theory, is no longer what we need. We need stories. Because the human mind, as Jung emphasized, does not live on definitions but on living images. And nature, in its patience, has been telling stories of symbiosis for a very long time, very quietly to anyone willing to listen. Let us begin at the bottom of the ocean, where a small clownfish swims into the tentacles of a sea anemone, tentacles that appear deadly. For most creatures, this would mean certain death, but for the clownfish it is home. A special layer of mucus on its skin protects it from being stung. The anemone offers safe shelter. In return, the clownfish drives away predators and brings food. No promises, no contracts, only a quiet compatibility refined through long evolutionary time. In the forest, another story unfolds, slower yet no less delicate. Ants and trees do not merely live beside one another. They nourish each other. Some trees create hollow chambers for ants to live in, secreting sweet substances as food. In return, ants protect the tree from leaf-eating insects, even attacking other plants that dare to encroach on its space. Here, the will to survive does not take the shape of combat, but of role distribution. Bees and flowers tell an even more familiar story, so familiar that we often forget its miracle. Flowers cannot move. Bees do not know how to plant, yet together they create seasons. Color, scent, petal shape are not decoration, they are language. Bees can read this language. And in searching for nectar, they unknowingly sustain an ecosystem far larger than themselves. There are stories less visible, yet operating on deeper scales. Insects, and the bacteria living in their guts, share chemicals, regulate development, even determine reproductive ability. Bats share food with less fortunate companions after unsuccessful hunts, forming a kind of biological insurance for the future. Here, symbiosis is not only biology, it becomes behavior with evolutionary ethics. Jung once said that humans understand the world through symbols. Seen deeply, these symbiotic stories are living symbols of how consciousness and the unconscious operate. Consciousness is like the clownfish, small, fragile. The unconscious is like the anemone, powerful, dangerous if approached wrongly, yet a refuge if harmony is found. When the relationship is aligned, both are protected. These stories do not need climaxes. They have no heroes. They operate through quiet repetition, day after day, generation after generation. And this repetition creates a deep sense of safety, precisely what the human nervous system needs before sleep. When you hear these stories at night, you do not need to remember details. Just let the images pass. A small fish in dark water, a flower opening at the right moment, an invisible network holding the world together. And in that moment you may feel something very light. Life never operates alone. Neither do you. Part 11. Symbiosis and behavior when will is influenced. As these concrete stories settle in the mind, a natural question arises quietly, without demanding an immediate answer. If life exists through invisible relationships like these, then to whom does a creature's will truly belong? We often believe behavior is the result of conscious choice, that we decide and then we act. But in the symbiotic world, this boundary blurs quickly. Some organisms do not merely live together, they directly influence how others behave, think, even what they want. A tiny parasite can cause insects to move toward light instead of avoiding it. A fungus can guide ants to climb high and stop exactly where spores need dispersal. Here, behavior is no longer personal will, but the outcome of overlapping biological interests. No villains, no victims. Only parallel life programs running together. Even in humans, this is not as distant as we imagine. Gut bacteria influence emotions, anxiety levels, reward-seeking behavior. Viruses, hormones, the immune system all send signals back to the brain. Many decisions are shaped before consciousness ever speaks. Carl Jung said the ego is a small island floating atop the ocean of the unconscious. Seen through symbiosis, this becomes clearer. Will is not an independent ruler, but a spokesperson for many inner and outer forces. This realization is not meant to frighten or disempower. On the contrary, it has a deeply soothing quality. If will does not carry full responsibility, we can rest. We do not need to be right all the time, or strong all the time. Many behaviors are simply temporary adaptations of a system. In symbiotic life, there is no absolute freedom, but neither is there total coercion. Everything unfolds as continuous negotiation, balance, misalignment, readjustment. Jung called this the self-regulating process of the psyche. Seen this way, we become gentler with ourselves. Fatigue is no longer personal failure. Hesitation is no longer weakness. It may simply signal that an inner relationship needs listening. At night, this idea becomes especially tender. You do not need to control every thought. You do not need to force sleep. Your inner system, like a symbiotic ecosystem, has known how to regulate itself long before you were born. Just lie still. Set will aside. Let invisible relationships continue their work. And in this letting go, sleep may arrive not as an achievement, but as a natural outcome of quiet cooperation. Part 12. The microbiome, the ecosystem within the process. Human body. When will no longer stands alone. When behavior is seen as layered relationships, we naturally step inward into the body itself, not as a single entity, but as a breathing ecosystem. Inside you right now live trillions of tiny beings. Bacteria, fungi, viruses, microbes, most harmless, many essential. They aid digestion, regulate immunity, synthesize vitamins, train the nervous system, and influence mood, sleep, and energy. The microbiome is not an intruder. It is you, in a deeper sense. The human body is not a sealed house, but open land, where other life finds a place and together maintains the fragile balance we call health. From a Jungian perspective, this is subtle and profound. If the ego is the surface of the psyche, the microbiome resembles a biological unconscious, always active, always regulating without your awareness. You do not command digestion. You do not consciously train immunity. Everything unfolds silently through long cooperation. When inner ecosystems fall out of balance, the mind changes too. Anxiety, depression, sleep disturbances may begin not with negative thoughts, but with tiny microbial disruptions. And conversely, safety care rhythm can help restore microbiome balance, which then stabilizes the mind. Antibiotics in this light resemble ecological storms. They can save lives, yet overuse can leave inner soil barren. Nature does not judge. It observes, then slowly seeks balance again. Perhaps the most sleep-inducing truth here is simple. You have never lived alone inside your body. Even when tired, even when you let go, even when you sleep. Inside you, billions of beings continue repairing, adjusting, reminding the body it is supported from many directions. You do not need total control to be safe. Many parts of you have known how to care for you for a very long time. At night, as consciousness recedes, this inner ecosystem becomes clearer like a forest. At night, quiet, unseen, yet most precise when unobserved. You only need to allow. Life within will continue its work. Part 13. Symbiosis and the future seeing the body. As an ecosystem, the microbiome, as part of an expanded self, a gentle question arises. Where is humanity's future headed if we truly understand that we live through symbiosis? For a long time, the future was imagined as a race of technology, strength, speed. But nature whispers another story. Life advances, not by separation, but by finer cooperation. And perhaps humanity's future is quietly forming this way. Science now asks not only how do we destroy bacteria, but how do we live in harmony with them? Probiotics, microbiome, transplants, personalized medicine, these are not mere technologies. They signal a shift away from domination toward listening, adjusting, supporting relationships within and beyond the body. In agriculture, symbiotic thinking returns. Soil is no longer inert matter, but living. Bacteria, fungi, insects, plants form mutual networks. When humans farm with ecosystems instead of against them, land revives and sustainability becomes tangible. Even in distant futures, space stations closed, habitats, other planets, symbiosis remains essential. No being survives long without unseen micro-relations. The future is not heroic individuals, but coordinated orchestras of life. From a Jungian view, this reflects a deep collective shift. The modern ego, once convinced of independence, slowly learns to yield to the whole, not by dissolving but by finding its place within a larger network. The future need not be loud. It may arrive slowly, quietly, like symbiosis itself. Small relationships adjusted, balances restored, choices made with awareness that no action stands alone. Emotionally, this brings gentle reassurance. If the future is symbiotic, you do not need to carry it alone. You do not need to be stronger than everything. You only need to listen well enough to cooperate with your body environment, invisible systems supporting you daily. As night comes, notice this: the future is not a burden to solve now. It is being woven quietly, even as you sleep. You may lie down knowing life is still finding its way forward together. Part 14. The Lullaby Philosophy of Symbiosis as the Core Team. Journey through Symbiosis's future gently closes, not with grand conclusions, but with support we slow further. Here, symbiosis becomes not biology or strategy, but a lullaby philosophy, soft enough for the mind to rest. It begins with a simple truth: no being exists alone. Even as you sleep, billions of cells cooperate. Microbes regulate rhythms. Hormones exchange signals. The nervous system listens and self-regulates. None require your command. Perhaps this is why symbiosis soothes. It requires no effort. It does not push. It needs no achievement. It works best when not over-scrutinized, like the deepest breath that arrives when you stop trying. From a Jungian view, sleep is when the ego steps back, as control loosens the collective unconscious, like a vast ecosystem begins its work. Symbols, memories, unnamed emotions reorganize by deeper, older order. Symbiosis reminds us order does not always come from control. Some of the strongest orders arise from allowance. If by day you carry roles, deciding, reacting, managing, night allows return to the network. No need to be special. Just exist in your place, supported by countless quiet relations. Night symbiosis is beautiful. A forest says nothing yet. Exchanges continue. Roots touch. Fungi signal. Life does not stop. The lullaby philosophy whispers, you do not need to hold everything in mind. Worries, plans, questions may be placed into the larger network, at least for tonight. Like nature, you need not be strong alone. You have always been supported by body environment in visible systems. As you lie still, breath slowing, thoughts thinning, notice a light, feeling everything is okay even when you do nothing. That is symbiosis's gift. Not perfection, but deep reassurance that life knows how to care for itself. And tonight, you may trust that. Part 15. Symbiosis. In silence, unseen relationships. Having touched symbiosis as lullaby philosophy, we descend further where it loses shape and story, becoming silent flow. This is life's deepest layer, unseen relationships holding the world together. Most support never appears. Soil, bacteria release minerals. Mycorrhizal fungi transmit water and signals. Single-celled algae produce oxygen. No audience. no recognition. Yet without them, everything above trembles. Silent symbiosis forms stability's foundation, unimpressive yet reliable. And this reliability is deeply sleep-inducing reassurance without proof. Jung likened this to the collective unconscious, silent, unquestioning, sustaining the whole. The ego is only a thin surface atop a working ocean. When humans are exhausted, they need not more information but reconnection to a larger network, a place where they need not always be right enough present. Inside you now, countless relationships operate unnoticed. Digestion, immunity, hormones, all cycling patiently. No noise, no commands. Silent symbiosis teaches gently, you need not always be visible to matter. Many of life's most important processes occur unseen. Sleep is not emptiness, it is retreat from light. Like roots working underground, like soil feeding forests without thanks. If today you are tired of performing, responding, being present, silent symbiosis whispers you may disappear a little. Not from the world, but into deeper existence beyond roles. There you are not alone. You are within a dense network of unseen relations, quietly balancing. Perhaps only when you stop trying to be visible do you truly rest. Let tonight pass this way, in silence. In symbiosis, you do not need to see, but can trust completely. Part 16. When symbiosis breaks, loss, pain, reconnection. Not all symbiotic relationships remain gentle forever. After touching deep invisible connections, we move to where they break, where balance shifts and pain appears not as error, but signal. In nature, symbiosis is dynamic. When conditions change, supportive relationships strain. Algae burden corals in warm water. Gut microbes inflame when imbalanced. No betrayal, only misalignment. Broken symbiosis is not moral tragedy. It is the system saying conditions have changed. Jung saw psychological crisis similarly suffering signals outdated structures. When symbiosis breaks, systems wobble, experiment, reorganize. Pain arises not to punish, but to protect long-term survival. This applies to body ecosystem psyche. When beliefs no longer support, life conflict emerges. Jung called this meeting the shadow rejected but persistent. Shadow is not symbiosis's enemy. It is what was excluded and now seeks recognition. Healing requires not restoring old normal, but reconnecting in new form. In biology, reconnection comes via changed rhythms, environments. In psychology, through allowing emotion meaning loss. Jung wrote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The danger is not loss, but denial of loss. Nature is not rushed. Time works patiently. For sleep, this is gentle. If you feel fractured tonight, it does not mean failure. You may be in transition where old symbiosis dissolves to allow deeper form. You need not fix yourself tonight. Like soil, after fire systems need quiet time, let sleep be that safe space. No judgment, no pressure. Not all breakdowns are endings. Many are life, finding deeper balance. As you close your eyes, remember, even in disorder, life is learning to reconnect. Part 17. Sleeping as a symbiotic system, you do not greased. Sleep alone. After fractures, nature always allows rest, not as reward, but necessity. This is where sleep appears. Seen through symbiosis, sleep is not individual action. When you sleep, no single ego is responsible. Billions of relationships activate quietly. As consciousness withdraws, inner symbiosis takes over. Microbes regulate rhythm. Hormones reorder. Cells repair. Immunity patrols. The brain sorts memory and emotion. No one asks you to do anything. They only need you to stop interfering. Jung believed the unconscious is not chaos but intelligent self-regulation. The ego is temporary guest. Forcing sleep is ego interference. Sleep arrives when command withdraws. Imagine yourself as a forest at night. No bright light, Yet roots exchange nutrients, fungi connect, soil breathes. You are the same. Sleep is not success or failure. Your body learned to sleep before thought, before language. Tonight, you need not try. Even if awake symbiosis has begun, sleep arrives, like deepening water supporting you. You do not sleep alone. You sleep with your body, with your unconscious, with billions of relationships that stayed with you. As you soften further, breath slows, thoughts fade. Symbiosis does what it does best, return you to life's safest state. Life has never existed alone. From ancient cells to your breathing body, now all is held by mutual support. You are not a separate individual. You are a meeting point. Like forest, like reef, not just ego. Jung taught that most psychological life unfolds beyond control, and this is support, not threat. The unconscious, like symbiosis, needs trust, not control. When you are tired, you are not weak. When you rest, you have not failed. All living systems need slowing to heal. Sleep is not a task. It is permission. You need not remember these stories. Just allow yourself to be supported. Right now, as eyelids grow heavy, breath softens. Know this: many things are working for you without effort. Cells repair, microbes adjust, rhythms reorder, memories settle. You need not be strong alone. You need not stay alert. You need not control tonight. Let this story fade like a small fire extinguishing when warmth is no longer needed. Let your mind drift to calmer waters. If thoughts pass, let them go like clouds. If feelings remain unnamed, let them be. You are in the right place. You are safe. And you are not alone in this sleep. Thank you for listening, for allowing yourself into life's slower rhythm, for staying long enough to feel invisible support. Nothing more is needed now. The night has done its work, and so have you. Good night. Let body and mind rest together.